What's up guys, it's Crash, and I've tried to make this video several times. I've hit record and tried to talk about my thoughts and feelings and stuff about the video game, and I don't like making negative videos, so I held off a few days and I've kind of collected my thoughts, and here is my thoughts on the game. I'm going to try to break this video down into 3 parts and do the best I can to stay positive and constructive, because I don't feel like it's fair to offer a bunch of criticism and then not offer up some ways to move forward in a positive way, what the team needs to do to get this game back on track. But anyway, I'm going to break this video down into 3 parts. I'm going to talk about I have a lot of questions on how some things made it past testing. Like, what did a play test look like, and how were people okay with some of this stuff? And then also in the middle part of the video, I'm going to talk about why I'm so disappointed it might not be why you think. And then in the end, I'm going to talk about the steps forward, what we need to do to get back on track. So honestly, some of these things that they just blow my mind. Some of the issues are on a fundamental engine level, like the basics of a shooter. Both inputs seem to be bugged. Aim assist is not working on consoles, as shown in this string of tweets where Florian says we're aware of issues with aim assist. It's being worked on by the team. There are no specifics to share at this point though. So a lot of the issues people are having, a lot of the main bugs that you've seen, I'm not going to get into all the bugs. I mean, there's a lot of them, but they're small and they're kind of to be expected. This one he doesn't say is in a fix. A lot of them he said are coming in the next patches. We know we're supposed to get 2 patches in the next 30 days. He says that they're going to be in a patch, or they have a fix, or they figured it out. On this one, aim assist not working for console players. He doesn't know, and they're looking into it. How the gun moves and you control your weapon in a shooting game, they're not sure of. Then we look at mouse input. Baranox tweeted and showed a video, and this worked for me, that some of the settings under the controller tab, so controller settings, affect mouse input. So something's wrong at an engine level where some of those settings are working on a mouse as well. And he said, thank you for the report. We're taking a look at this as we speak. And then he went on to ask about what mouse he was using and some more stuff. They didn't even know that the mouse input was bugged. Again, a way to control and aim your weapon in a shooting game. Also, there are several weapons where, like, more than one. There's a video, I'll show this video on a tweet, where on the Scar the bullet does not go where the reticle is. This also happens on the SVK. On this one it's low, on the SVK it's high, depending on the optic. And like, these are fundamental aspects of a shooting game. I'm not even talking about the bugs, the network issues and things like that that are kind of to be expected on a video game at launch. I'm not going to go crazy on that stuff. But like these fundamental engine issues, I don't understand how it made it past QA. Also the incredible bloom. I know you guys are aware that you can really only use like the SVK and the PP29 and maybe a little bit of the PBX, because those weapons don't have as insane spread. The AK-24 and the M5A3, the other assault rifles, just have a massive amount of weapon spread and bloom. And there's so many tweets about people not enjoying it. I don't enjoy it. It's way too severe. They've already said it's too severe and they're toning it back, so we can expect a fix in the coming days. But it's, how does that make it, like, how do they play that and the bullets go all around their enemies and they're like, yeah, it's good, let's ship it? I just don't get it. Things like the medic indicator, no VoIP, no voice chat for a squad based game mode like Hazard Zone, no server browser, not being able to play with more than 3 friends, even if you have, you know, more than 4 buddies that want to play together. Back in Battlefield 5, if we had more than that, we just all pile in Discord and get a couple squads and get in the same server. You can't really even do that. My game has like a substantial memory leak, as I have to restart it after every like 3 or 4 games because my frame rate just goes down, my RAM usage skyrockets. And these are just like fundamental, foundational, basic things that I just don't know how it made it past QA. Like it just blows my mind. There's a lot of stuff, and I know people are like, well, Battlefield 4 was buggy, and to me that's not a defense. That's something that's bad. They didn't learn from it. It's not like it's buggy and it's okay. It's buggy and they did it again. Some of these things are just just crazy. You couldn't even click on an operator in Hazard Zone, like the click, like you couldn't click on it. You had to use your space bar on keyboard and mouse just to get into the next screen to pick your loadout. Fundamental things, like how did they go into play testing and they're like, I can't click on my operator? That's fine, ship it. Like just basic things. Like I know a lot of the bugs, maybe the revive issues, some of the collision things, bugs and glitches in maps are tough to find in internal playtest. You need to get a ton of people in there to find stuff like that. I'm not concerned about that at all. But just some of these basic fundamental things are just mind blowing to me, how this made it past QA and we didn't learn from past mistakes. So enough of that. That got a little ranty. I'm really sorry. And the reason I'm going to move into the second part now, the reason why I'm so disappointed is we were told that Battlefront 2 and Battlefield 5 had to die somewhat early in their life cycle. They ended support so everyone could work on Battlefield 2042. And this was supposed to be different. This was supposed to be a more polished game. We were supposed to get 128 players, which kills my frame rate in PC. That's a whole nother thing about like frame rates and performance. And if the stuff didn't work early, I don't know why we continued down this route. I hope we get 64 players for PCs. But anyways, like we had all this hype going into this game. We learned from our past mistakes. This was going to be awesome. It's going to bring a ton of new players in. Hazard Zone is going to be a new mode, which I'm going to make another video about this, but I've played Hazard Zone for a week and I've already beat it. Like I have no reason to get more drives. I've got all the calling cards. There's nothing left to do in that game mode, and it's a week after launch. So that one is a whole nother can of worms. But like, all of these things we were led to believe, and this was going to be awesome, and I'm part of it too. I got super hyped. A lot of this is on me because I knew several things. I knew that the market was ready for this Battlefield. COD had a lot of brand fatigue. Halo was delayed. We were set to come out in October and have a whole month to gain players while people are tired of the same Call of Duties, war zones, and things like that. And what I wanted to happen was I wanted Battlefield this year to become mainstream. I wanted people to come over from other games and see what we all love about this franchise and all the fun that we have in these massive battles, messing around with our friends, squad play, and it was going to have cross play to get more people to be able to play together, and then ended up not having voice chat. And just like all of these things led me to think that Battlefield had a real shot this year to grow and be a massive hit with older fans, with Portal, and with newer fans in All Out Warfare. And I thought it was going to be really good. And essentially what's happening is there are people saying, Crash, Battlefields are always buggy. They're always buggy, and they're eventually going to get there. And that is very true. That always seems to happen. And, you know, I fully expect this game to be polished and good to go, hopefully in the first few months of next year. It's going to take a few months to get this stuff ironed out. And when we get there, it's going to be great. But you know who's going to be left? Us, the hardcore Battlefield fans that have always been there. And this game is not going to be the mainstream large success like I was hoping for. I wanted our community to grow. And a lot of people are like, well, who cares, Crash? We're still going to have fun. We are. But if the same thing happens like Battlefield 5, where everyone left, all the casual new players left, and it was like hardcore Battlefield fans of that game were left, and player numbers dwindle, so will support for the game. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about people leaving it for other games and franchises, people not getting past these fundamental issues. And you know, you can say, well, it's not going to affect me. I'm still going to play the game. If it gets bad, it will affect you. EA will pull the plug and they'll be working on the next game. They'll pull everyone off this one and content will be over. So essentially, in a nutshell, the reason I'm kind of disappointed is that I just hoped it would be a big success. We get a ton of new people to play with, new friends, new communities, and the Battlefield community would flourish. That's not going to be the case, but we'll see where it goes. Now, how do we have to maybe save this thing and get back to that point? That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. What I think needs to happen is already kind of happening. There's a lot of really good communication about what they're looking into, what they're working on. Some of these fundamental issues they might not want to draw attention to because some people might not know they exist. But they need to prioritize these fundamental engine level bugs. The content that's there that we do have needs to perform and play well before we start adding other stuff to this game. They need to get this part fixed. They need to fix aim assist on controllers, mouse inputs, weapon bloom and balance, vehicle balance. You know, the hovercrafts are getting reworked because they have way more armor than a tank, which I don't get how that gets coded into the game and passed QA tests again. Weapons need to go where the reticles are, and it just needs to be a more polished shooting experience. It needs to feel like a AAA smooth shooter that past Battlefields have. I hope we can get there, get some vehicle balance, make these more fun to enjoy. And then we need to move into quality of life stuff, working on that scoreboard, getting that in the game. Stuff like, you know, medic indicators, like how close is a medic when I'm down. You have no idea what to do when you're downed, things like that. Then we need to add those missing features. I'm sure you guys have seen on Reddit that massive list of stuff that's missing from this game. We need to add some of that stuff back in there. And then down the line, after the game is running well, we have our quality of life stuff, then we can add content to this game. And eventually, when it's polished next spring, there needs to be a free-to-play mode to get people to come back to the game. By that point, like I said, it's just going to be us hardcore fans, and we're probably going to be having a great time. But I just want enough people in this game that it stays supported and we keep getting content. So anyway, guys, that's Crash's 3 steps to success, in my opinion. That's all I had for today. Sorry for the negative stuff. We're going to keep going with the channel. I do believe posting tips and tricks and guides and things like that. Also, we're going to cover World War III. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Look for a stream for that later in the week. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry if this got a little negative, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.